Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Service Dog channel. To skip this introduction, go to approximately the 2.5-minute mark. I started this channel for several good reasons. To educate the public about service dogs, business owners about how to handle service dog situations, service dog handlers and potential service dog handlers about the ADA guidelines regarding service dogs, and to caution any potential service dog handlers about just what they are getting themselves into. I also plan to bring you the latest service dog news, court rulings, and interviews with people in the service dog community. Finally, the purpose of my channel is to discuss all things service dog related. I believe everyone needs to be educated about service dogs, whether you're a person who needs a service dog, a business owner, a medical professional, or even just a member of the public who sometimes encounters a service dog. The more everyone knows about service dogs, the less likely that any harm will come to the dog, the handler, business owners, and the public in general. Please note that I am not a professional service dog trainer or a disability lawyer, or lawyer of any kind for that matter. Any information I give you is from my personal experience or information that I've gathered from the internet, like news articles and ADA guidelines. For those who don't already know, ADA stands for the Americans with Disabilities Act, and it is enforced by the Department of Justice, otherwise known as the DOJ. The Department of Justice is an entity of the federal government. My understanding is that when state law and federal law conflict with each other, the federal law overrules the state law. That being said, allow me to introduce myself. My name is T.L. Paris, and I am the content creator of the Service Dog channel. I also own a publishing company called Paris Press. I'm in the process of writing a book right now about overcoming grief when you suffer the loss of a pet. At this time, I do have some journals and notebooks for sale on Amazon, but here on YouTube, my focus is service dogs. What is a service dog? To define what a service dog is, I'm going to give you the legal definition of a service animal according to the Americans with Disabilities Act, which is published and enforced by the Department of Justice. Service animals are dogs that are individually trained to do work or perform tasks for people with disabilities. That's it. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Now let's break it down. Key phrases in the definition are, quote, trained to do work or perform tasks, end quote, and the other key phrase is, quote, people with disabilities, end quote. You may be wondering who the ADA considers to have disabilities. Well, their definition is a person who has a physical or mental impairment that, number one, substantially limits major life activities, 2, has a record of such an impairment, this could be medical records, or 3, the person is regarded as having such an impairment. This means someone has been treated differently because of a perceived or actual physical or mental impairment. Now you're probably wondering what a major life activity is. Let me help you with that. Major life activities are important things that people do to live their daily lives. These activities can be both physical and mental. They include, but are not limited to, activities such as seeing, hearing, listening, speaking, sleeping, standing, walking, bending, working, reading, communicating, getting out of harm's way, breathing, concentrating, standing up or sitting down, getting off the floor, and taking medicine. Remember, that was not a complete list of all major life activities, but it should be enough examples to give you a good idea of what they are. How can service dogs help with these impairments? You would be amazed at what service dogs can do. Here is a list of just a few things that dogs can be trained to do to help people with disabilities. And mind you, this list does not even cover half of the tasks that trained service dogs can do. And get ready because this is a long list. Here we go. Service dogs can help with guiding blind people or people with low vision, alerting deaf people to doorbells or alarms, grounding a person having a panic attack, alerting a person with diabetes that their blood sugar is out of whack, providing a barrier between a person with PTSD and other people close to them, stopping a person from crying in deep depression and desperation, stopping a person from self-harming, guiding a child with autism away from danger and back to their home, alerting other people that their handler needs help, providing support for a person who is about to faint or alerting them that their heart rate may be about to cause a fainting spell, helping a person get up off the floor, bringing medicine to a person who cannot get it, picking up dropped objects for persons who have trouble bending over, providing deep pressure therapy to calm the central nervous system, providing a counterbalance for unstable people, elevating the legs of a person who has passed out, guiding a person to the exit, alerting to food allergens, alerting to seizures, providing forward momentum, calling 911 on a dog-friendly phone, cleaning up objects off of the floor, opening and closing doors and cabinets, providing crowd control by circling the handler, and rolling their handler onto their side to prevent choking. Let me tell you, everything I mentioned is just a drop in the bucket. Now do you see why they say dogs are man's best friend? What a blessing! The previous list of tasks gives you an idea of what type of disabilities people have, but to be more specific and reiterate, here are some disabilities service dogs can help with: blindness or low vision, paralysis, muscular dystrophy, stroke, cerebral palsy, spina bifida, or spinal cord injuries. Most disabilities are invisible, meaning they are not blatantly obvious disabilities. You might see a person with a service dog and think they must be training the dog for someone else, or they don't really need a service dog. Before you make a judgment call like that, remember that the following disabilities are invisible: food allergies, diabetes, hearing loss or deafness, PTSD, severe anxiety, fused spinal vertebrae, degenerative disc disease, major depressive disorder, neurological disorders, autoimmune diseases, cystic fibrosis, asthma, cancer, epilepsy, arthritis, and chronic pain are just a few. If you can think of more invisible disabilities, go ahead and write them in the comments section below. The work or task a dog has been trained to provide must be directly related to the person's disability. Dogs whose sole function is to provide comfort or emotional support do not qualify as service animals under the ADA. So that means if your dog has no training and is simply a companion that helps with mental health or psychiatric disabilities by simply existing so you can hug, love, and pet them, then this is not a service dog. That would be an emotional support dog. The only access rights that emotional support dogs have is to live in pet-free housing, including buildings with no pet policies, and some airlines will allow them to fly in the cabin with the owner. Before you attempt to fly with an emotional support dog, contact the airline and find out if they are allowed and if there are weight restrictions. Even with a service dog, you need to contact the airline in advance because they typically will require documentation such as Department of Transportation Service Animal Transportation Form or Animal Relief Attestation Sanitation Form, preferably at least 48 hours prior to flight. They may also ask for vaccination records. Rules that apply for airlines are not the same as the ADA requirements for businesses on the ground. Now, I'm going to tell you what a service dog is in the most basic terms possible. A service dog is a dog that is well trained to perform a job that helps its owner by minimizing the effect that their disability has on their major life activities. See the description section below this video for important resources that will likely answer any questions you might have. If you cannot find the answer in those links, post your question in the comments section and somebody in our community will assist you. Please be kind to others in the comments section and understand that everyone is in a different place in their learning and experience. You know, service dog handlers are already struggling with their disabilities, thus requiring the use of a service dog, and when they go out into the world and encounter an educated public, it helps them to more easily navigate a world full of obstacles. These videos are intended to bring awareness to everyone, thereby improving the lives of those who both encounter service dogs and use them. The more we share this information, the better we will all get along with each other. That's because people will understand the rights and expectations of service dogs and their handlers. If you know anyone else that could benefit from this type of information on the Service Dog channel, please share this channel with them. These people could be business owners, medical professionals, transportation providers, service dog handlers, dog trainers, and, well, just everyone. Please browse my other videos if you'd like to, and if you find them beneficial, you may consider clicking on the subscribe button and the notification bell.